Hi there. Do you ever want to tell a really good story in English, but you kind of get stuck on how to talk about things that happened yesterday or last year? Well, in this explainer, we're going to learn a super simple and natural way to do just that. Let's jump right in.
You know that feeling, right? Maybe you're in a job interview or just chatting with friends. You have so many great things to say, but when you need to talk about your past experiences, you just hesitate. It's such a common feeling. So believe me, you are not alone.
But hey, don't you worry. Today, we're going to learn two really simple rules that will make your English sound so much more natural. I promise, by the end of this, you're going to feel way more confident when you talk about the past.
So, here's what we've got lined up. First, we'll talk about that stuck feeling. Then, we'll get into our two key rules. After that, we'll look at some fun ways to practice, learn a few new words, and then it's your turn to speak. Ready? Okay, picture this. You're in a job interview, everything's going great. Then the interviewer asks, "So, have you ever led a project before?" And your mind just goes blank for a second. Should I say I had or I have? It's in these moments that knowing the right pattern makes all the difference.
Yeah, that tiny little pause can feel like a huge wall, can it? But here's the good news. The fix is actually really, really simple. By the time we're done here, you'll know exactly how to answer that question without even thinking about it.
All right, let's dive into our first rule. This one is perfect for telling stories. You know, when you're talking about two things that both happened in the past, and you need to be clear about which one happened first.
So here's the secret. We use I had plus the third form of the verb. Why? To show that one thing happened before another thing that also happened in the past. It's like you're creating a little timeline right in your sentence.
Take a look at this. It lays it out perfectly. The first action, the thing that happened earlier, is I had finished my homework. That's done. Then the second action happened. My mom came home. Using I had makes that order super clear to anyone listening.
Let's look at a couple more examples. They had already eaten before the movie started. So first, they ate. Second, the movie began. Or how about this one? By the time I arrived, the flight had already taken off. First, the flight left. Second, I got to the airport. See how that works?
Now this is a really important detail. After had, we always use the third form of the verb. So we wouldn't say had did, we say had done. And it's not had went, it's had gone. Getting this right is a small change that makes your English sound amazing.
Okay, let's move on to our second rule. This one is all about connecting the past to what's happening right now. It's for when you want to talk about something that happened before, but it still matters today. Here's the main idea. We use I have or she has plus that verb's third form to build a bridge from the past to the present. You're basically saying this thing happened before and it's still relevant right now. These examples really show that connection to the present. If I say, I have never visited Paris, I'm talking about my entire life up until this very moment. If she has completed her project, the good news is the project is finished now. And if they have lived here for 5 years, it means they started in the past and they are still living here. See? Past meets present? And yep, you guessed it. Just like with our first rule, we need that third form of the verb here too. So it's not she has wrote, it's she has written. And here's a great tip. When you talk about your life experiences, like seeing a movie, always say, I have seen that movie. It sounds so much more natural. All right, so now that we know the rules, how do we actually make them a habit? Something we don't have to think so hard about. Well, it's all about practice. And I've got two simple, even fun, ways to do it.
First, try something I call the memory chain. This is great for rule number 1. Just think about your morning. For example, before I came here, I had eaten breakfast. Before I had eaten breakfast, I had brushed my teeth. For rule 2, try an experience journal. Every day, just write one sentence with I have, like today, I have learned something new in English. Simple. Okay, quick bonus round. To help you express yourself even better, let's learn 5 useful new words. You know, growing your vocabulary is like adding new colors to your painting. It just makes everything more interesting.
Here we go. Garrulous. That's for someone who talks a lot. Candid. That means you're being really honest and direct. Envious. That's just a great word for being jealous. Drab, which means something is dull or has no color. And avid, which means you are super interested and eager about something. Maybe you're an avid learner.
We have covered so much. We've got the rules, we've got some practice ideas, and we even have some new words. Now, it's all about putting this great stuff into action.
So, I've got a question for you. Which of these two rules are you going to practice first? Are you going to tell a story using I had? Or maybe share something you've done using I have? Just pick one. Try to use it just once today. That's the best way to get started.
Remember, every single time you practice, you are building your confidence. These two rules are really powerful tools, and now you know exactly how to use them. Just keep going, and you'll really see a huge difference in how you speak. You are doing an awesome job.